The level 103 target has a few things that you can do to help reduce your damage. Hey everyone, Derpy here, and welcome back to another Battle Pirates video. As we get started, I will mention a few things. First, I'm using a steelhead screw. I have a few other thoughts on other crews which might be more useful, and I'm going to show you the build and the damage, of course, at the end of the video. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to enter this target roughly from the left side. It does matter where you enter from in terms of where you're placed. However, the general techniques I'm going to show you work regardless of your entry angle. The lowest threat things in this target are really these three ships that start moving here. That's because two of those basically do no damage to you, which is these smaller zealot ships. They have torpedoes on there, but you have anti-torpedoes or cormorants, which take down 100% of the torpedoes. The things you have to worry about are the subjugators, which have rockets. Now, to encounter those, or to mitigate the damage, you can stay moving, you'll still get hurt a little bit, or you can try and pull these guys and splash them out by hitting the zealot first. That's a lot harder, but it's kind of possible, so choose that if you want to spend a bunch of extra time driving these targets. The next things that are going to be a lot harder are these parked lurkers. The lurkers themselves are not bad, but they are patrolled or guarded by a bunch of the Ronin ships. Now, the technique I tried to use there was to actually hit the lurker and splash out onto the Ronin. That didn't work very well because these Ronins have a really high range, and you can only get about a third of the ship actually killed, or even almost got this one killed all the way here. However, to come back and finish him off, it's going to take one more volley to do that. Now, those Ronins are not too bad once you get the hang of it. Let's see if we can do that on this next cluster after I take down the three ships that start moving towards me. By the way, make sure you avoid the mines. They can be used to your advantage if you kill a ship near this one and splash other guys out. As you can see, I was able to splash the subjugator out without using the mine, which is pretty nice. Okay, let's go ahead and move closer towards the park lurker here. The Ronin, Ronin should be out of the way. I'm going to wait till he turns around and starts coming back towards me. I guess he's going the other direction. I'm going to try and see if I can get this next lurker out. Oh, he is doing damage to me. That's what gets kind of tricky with these targets. I want to try and stay stopped and hit the lurker. I can't go too close or the lurker does damage, and I can't stay stationary or get even more damage from the Ronin. Now, the good thing about the core ships in the center of the target here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, is that you can take these all out with no damage. And the secret to the flagship here, or the scattergun style ship, is that you need to hit it from behind, and that lets you play a little nicer with the range for that one. Before we do that, let's take out the mortar ships. These guys should do no damage to you if you're following my build with one Gale ship. A few other builds I'm sure work as well. And you really want to make sure you're engaging these ships one at a time, otherwise your Gales could get overwhelmed, so just consider that. Okay, those two are down. Let's stay moving, stay outside of the red zone here, and see if we can't take out a few of the mortar ships as well. Again, he just turned around. It's actually going to be a pretty good time to jump in there and hit him once he just turned around. Engaging two ships at once there, not the best move. Let's run away and stay in max range before something crazy happens. Here's a subjugator, see if I can't take him down, and got two of those subjugators down actually. They did fire some shots at me, not too worried about it. Let's take down the two Ronin mortar ships. Again, they should do no damage to you if you stay at maximum range and only engage one at a time. Here comes the scatter ship. Make sure, again, you stay out of the way. He's going to turn around in a little while here, and as soon as he does, I want to be ready to jump inside and stay at max range, because in addition to these red projectiles, he does have a very short range. Okay, he has a very short range scatter hole. I'm going to go up on the outside here, and he actually has a firing arc that it will display a little bit here. So I want to make sure if it does display that, get out the way. He did fire one shot at me there, a little tiny bit of damage. Again, make sure you stay at maximum range and just barely stay behind or to the side. You never want him moving towards you. A few other random ships to take down here. We have the two zealots and one subjugator again. See if I can't explode this mine a little bit here. Exploded the mine, very small range, didn't really do anything. If I wanted to run around, I could maybe try and pull the subjugator behind the other zealot. I don't really want to do that enough, and spending an extra 5 minutes in this target, I've already been in here 5 minutes, just to reduce the damage a little bit, simply is not worth it to me. Here's the lurker, again, see if you can't get a little bit of damage off onto the other two ships from him, although these guys, again, have a really long range, they're still shooting at me. See if we can't do the same thing here. He's still going to shoot at me. Stay away from the blue mine there. Really don't want to get hit by those guys. Get back a little closer, some damage off onto him. That's going to unfortunately take the lurker pretty much out, which means I can't use that against the next ship. Now the lurker does have mortars, and those mortars are uncounterable, which means that your gales are not going to work against them whatsoever. Just make sure you stay at max range from those guys. That's the target. Let's take a look at the damage, the battle report, and the build. The build, by the way, is the same I've been using since my Pathfinder build video, and just with the update of the flag. In terms of the battle report, I did take some concussive damage. This should not be from torpedoes, but is instead from the flagship that got one volley off at me okay, but is from the Ronins patrolling around the target, and that damage could be mitigated not by evade, but by steelheads, which I'm using, or by having a higher combat speed, which having the Silent Hunters crew would help you with. And that Silent Hunters is the plus combat speed and torpedo damage, torpedo critical. Obviously, that doesn't help my ships here because they don't have torpedoes. A little bit of explosive damage here as well. Taking a look at what I did, 50-50, doesn't really matter too much, and that is 30 minutes and 17 seconds of damage. I was hoping for under 30 minutes. I think that's good enough for the third target I've hit. It's possible I could drive this thing a whole bunch and get this down to 25 minutes, 5 minutes on each ship. And I'm sure that having X1 or the new capital upgrade, which is essentially an X2, I don't love that at all, would help a little bit with that one. Let me know if you have any comments and I'll make sure to get back to you as quick as I can. With that said, and until next time, I want to give a huge shout out to the members whose names appear on the end screen now. They're helping make videos like this one possible. Until next time, this is Derpy signing out, helping you be a better pirate.